Warning, you are about to enter the BGP suite. No thongs, no boy shorts, no thigh highs, no commandos are permissible. BGP, big girl panties only. So pull up to woman up. And no, please don't leave with your panties in a bunch.
Welcome to BGP. Today we're doing a discussion on help, SOS, strippers, OnlyFans, and streetwalkers. Ooh. What's the difference? Why do we want to be a part of it? What's the big idea? Does it make you successful? Can you prosper from it? We'll be talking about that today. My name is Neisha Williams.
And my name is Adrianne Green, also known as A or Arthur A. Michelle.
Oh, my God. I am Ms.lishey.
All right, ladies. So what's your take on the difference between a stripper, an OnlyFans representative, and a streetwalker?
Now, I'm not real familiar with OnlyFans, but I do know that all of them have an opportunity to make you money. Mm-hmm. And in some cases, if some ladies choose to go that route, I think it can be risky. Mm-hmm. But I think as an adult woman, in some cases, if you choose to do that, that's your choice.
Okay.
If there's no children that are going to be affected or, I think it's okay.
Mona?
I have a problem with all three of them. I think it's very degrading. Mm-hmm. I think that when you talk about your hooker, I would refer to her as a streetwalker. She is probably the lowest on the totem pole. Mm-hmm. She is probably the one that has suffered from some kind of sexual molestation. She may be a runaway. She has very low self-esteem, and she has no job skills, so she's created this menu where she has what she does and the prices, and she doesn't have a problem with either not getting paid after the service, possibly getting robbed, possibly being murdered. It's all of a part of the game. She may also have a pimp. I think that all three of them ride the pole in some kind of way, shape, form, or fashion. The hooker rides the pole anywhere. Mm-hmm. She can be in an alley. She can be in a backseat of a car, front seat of a car. She can be at a motel. She can be in the bathroom, a stripper. When I was growing up, we didn't know about strippers. Because strippers knew that was not a professional job. They didn't want anybody to know that they were out there stripping. Mm-hmm. I went to school in Inglewood, California, and 2 doors down there was an adult movie theater, and my nosy butt went up in there. And they had something similar to LL Cool J's Doing It Well, where they put some money in this little machine and this door opens up and you can see this woman. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, wow. So that's what I kind of connect OnlyFans to. Mm-hmm. But see, a stripper, she'll say that I go to night school. Or I worked the graveyard shift. And normally the strippers that I knew, because I did do hair for a long time and I did do some of their hair, they did not strip in the same area that they lived in. They went far away because, like I said, they knew that was an acceptable thing for a woman to do. They knew that they would be looked down upon. And a stripper's excuse was, I'm only going to do this for a short period of time. Mm-hmm. I'm only going to do this because I'm going to cosmetology school. I'm only going to do this because I'm going to college. I have some bills. This is a way to make fast cash. They coined themselves as being exotic dancers. Mm-hmm. Now, your OnlyFans. let me back up. So strippers, they ride the pole literally. They ride a pole. That's their profession. And then they might do a little side pole riding in the champagne room. You know, your OnlyFans, my opinion, is there's nothing different. I think that the stripper thinks that she's better than the streetwalker. And now the OnlyFans young lady that's doing the same thing as the stripper and the hooker thinks that she's better than both of them because she's behind closed doors. The stripper is going to do what she does in a, I would say, safe environment. So I think that the OnlyFans young lady thinks that she's in a safe environment as well because she's in her home or she's in somewhere that's enclosed. However, I think it's also very degrading. If the only thing that you believe that is a man is valuable for is his money, or if you think that your body is only valuable when it's naked, I think you have a problem. Now, the OnlyFans young lady, she also rides the pole. She rides the pole of delusion. She thinks because nobody is touching her or nobody is throwing money at her or nobody is hollering at her where she can hear it, that she's not going to be damaged. She is going to be damaged. She's going to be psychologically damaged. She'll probably be more damaged than the hooker because really the hooker doesn't give a damn. The stripper, because the stripper can relocate. But your online OnlyFans young lady, the internet is undefeated. The internet is forever. And you could decide that you want to change your life, and guess what? They can pull up a OnlyFans video. It's 2025 that you did in 2018. I don't agree with any of it. And that's my take.
Okay, so I'm going to bring up a situation that occurred a week ago. Husband and wife. The wife is a teacher at a school. Of course, because of the pandemic, schools was closed and they were looking, they're losing money for a while, right? She decided to create an OnlyFans account. She is now making $150,000 a month on OnlyFans. Want to know what she's doing? Cooking.
Wow.
Cooking dinner, having a conversation in a bathing suit. Cooking and making $150,000 a month. She's not on a pole. She's not sleeping with anyone. She is a married mom and making $150,000 a month. If I were to compare between a stripper, streetwalker, or hooker and an OnlyFans, and I had to choose life or death, pick one, I think I would go with that OnlyFans because I know some people that literally just show their toes and make $30,000 a month by showing their toes because you have people with foot fetishes. Just like you have people that want to see somebody cook and they don't want to go on YouTube. They want to see this woman in a bathing suit cooking some dinner while having a conversation, and they'll pay her for it. I don't think that is degrading. Now, if they twerking, shaking their butt, naked, having sex, yeah, that's different. But if you're cooking the meal in a bathing suit and people are willing to pay you $150,000 a month, I don't think I'm going to care 5 years from now what somebody has to say about that damn video. Right. But that's my opinion.
Okay, so what I heard you say is that she's married.
She is.
She has a husband.
She does.
What about the young ladies that don't have a husband and they get on TV and they are in a bathing suit or in their panties and bras cooking? It's a difference. It's a big difference.
I agree.
They might never get a man. Because what you don't understand, or maybe what the audience does not understand, is that men are very territorial.
Yes. And
men want to know how promiscuous you are. That's why they always ask you your body count. And there was a video of this young lady, and it was a long time ago, but she said 4. 4 is the magic number. I don't care if you had 2 Daryls, somebody with the same name. 4 is the body count. Here's the thing about doing things that are for attention, or doing things that are showing your body. Men don't forget that. Men get redemption for things that they do. We get that stain placed on us, forever. I saw a OnlyFans young lady that she was doing it, she said, for school. and somebody subscribed to her channel and screenshotted everything that she was doing and sent it to her parents. And she was devastated.
Wow.
And she was like, why would you do that? I was only trying to do it to make some extra money. So I agree with Neisha. Foot fetish, that's okay. But the majority of your young ladies are not thinking business.
Right.
They're not thinking like that. They're showing their body because the climate and the environment is saying, show your body.
Agree.
And my thing is, I don't want to come off judgmental to people. We don't know their backstory. We don't know why they ended up having to go into this profession in the beginning. Is it right? It's not looked at as the proper thing to do. However, in some cases, you may find it necessary that, not necessarily that you have to have sex with somebody. And I know I'm in that background of trying to empower women, and that should be the first thing I'm against. But I have sat down in rooms with women that have used that as a way of making ends meet, to take care of their children. And these are some of the things that they've done. Like you said, OnlyFans is one thing that I've recently learned about, but also escorting and things of that nature that may not include an actual sex act, but they've done these things that to some people look degrading. But again, once I learned their backstory and why they chose to take on these different roles and do these things, it was a little bit different. It's not that I totally agree with it, but I can understand why they ended up in those situations.
Okay. I'm going to say this. Everybody has a backstory.
True.
Everybody has fallen on hard times.
True. Right.
Everybody has not had a job or couldn't make ends meet. Pick a job, get a job, do something that's respectable.
Exactly.
We are women. We are not supposed to be out here showing our body and skin to everybody else and all types of men all over the world. I am going to be judgmental. That is my job as a woman, to be judgmental. You are my sisters. You may be my daughters. You might be my nieces. I don't want you to go down that road. There are psychological damages that happen to you. There are physical things that happen to you, and you should not want to do that. We can make excuses all we want for the way that people choose their lives. Hey, if that's what you want to do, for every action, there is a reaction. If you're willing to suffer the consequences of your actions, then go do that. But I'm saying, as a woman, there is a better way to do everything. And we need to stop taking the easy way out. We need to stop doing things that are easy to do that will ruin our reputations as women. Because somewhere down the line, you're going to want a husband. Well, and some things you can't turn back. Go ahead.
That's true, but I mean, not to be what's the phrase people like to say? Let me play devil's advocate.
Yeah, there you go.
Right?
Go ahead.
Let me play devil's advocate.
Go ahead.
Imagine telling little girls what you're telling them. Do better. Make better choices. Don't show your body. Cover up. Get a regular job. Work a regular 9 to 5. You can make $10 an hour for now and be successful. And maybe down the line, you can attract a husband, a decent, great man that's going to love you for the choices you made, right? But then you look at what you see on TV, what you see on social media, what you hear these men are saying on social media. Who are the baddest women that they want? Your strippers. Who are the baddest women that are getting married? The hoes. Who are the baddest women that are getting wifed up and clowning the good girl next door? Your strippers, your hookers. There are former hookers who are in office, who have been in office in political careers. There are former hookers have been Miss Universities and Miss USAs. There are former strippers who are now famous rappers, who are wealthy and have husbands, while these good women that we talk about are single and struggling and getting older. Alone. So what's the motivation for them to stay on that plane, that level field that you're discussing, Elder? What's the motivation to stay on that lane?
The motivation is to have some moral discipline and some moral fortitude about yourself. I don't give a damn what stripper is getting married up. I don't care what hooker is doing some things. It's certain things that you're supposed to do as a woman.
Okay.
So you say hookers are winning and strippers are winning. What the
Hoes.
hell? What if their hoes are winning? What the hell are they winning that is so attractive to you that you want to win in that way? And you can't think of another way to win? You have to degrade yourself? You have to get naked? You have to follow that lead?
But look who's out there, your Cardi B's and your Megan Thee Stallions.
And
these are I'm just saying, these are who our young girls look at, and it almost is as if they look at it, their success story.
they
Right.
don't have to look at it.
They don't have to.
They don't
but
have
I'm
to,
just
but they
saying
are.
they are looking at it.
And why are they looking at it? Because there's no parental guidance. There's nobody that's counteracting that. I'm gonna tell you a story right now, and I don't have a girl. I have a son. Whenever he started watching music videos, and they had the mansions, and they had the 10 or 12 different cars, and they had all the clothes and all the jewelry, I sat his butt down and I told him, check this out. You may never achieve that. You may never have a mansion. You may never have a Ferrari or Lamborghini. You may never rock the latest $300 pair of monkey jeans. You ain't got a whole bunch of jewels, but you still gonna be a man. And you be a respectable man. And we should feel embarrassed that our children have role models that are not us.
Absolutely.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with that. But at the same time, boys and girls are different. Men can have, the bare minimum and be accepted. Women cannot. Women can do everything right. They can go down that road, again, that you're telling them that they should be to be a respectful young lady. And you know what they are? Well, you know what they get? They become that high-value woman. They become that successful financial woman. They become that successful entrepreneur. Alone. Because the men that you're talking about that they should get, right? That they should go for, don't want them. They want the stripper. They want the hooker. They want the OnlyFans chick. They want the Instagram girl. They don't want that wholesome woman that we said that's how we want our daughters to be. They're not checking for them anymore.
I disagree. I think there are men out here checking for wholesome women. There are people that are successfully married and their wives were never hookers. They were never strippers. They were never naked. I disagree with that. I'm saying this. How many? Okay, let me back up.
Okay.
So we choose the men. They choose wives, right?
Right.
So if we are choosing the men and we find that our choices are getting us into some predicaments, that might say, maybe we don't know how to properly choose. I have a question for you. How many men have you encountered on a day-to-day basis that hollered at you, but he didn't have the physical aesthetics that you might have liked, that you passed by, that could have been your knight in shining armor, that could have been the man that, was high value, that would treat you right and give you the desires of your heart. We are passing up on some people just because of physical appearances. We don't have to go for the thug, the Pookies and Ray Rays, the dusty dudes. We are making choices to go and have our hearts broken by the people that we choose. I don't have a daughter, but I got a granddaughter. I am not going to tell my granddaughter to degrade herself because of what the climate is right now, because what's going on right now. I want her to be a leader. I don't want her to be a follower. Point blank, period.
I'm just simply saying I can see how they fall into that.
The trap.
In that trap.
Yes.
I can see how they do.
Right.
Of course, I don't want my daughter to end up in that situation. Of course, I don't want my grandchildren to end up in that situation. However, I do see, because of some of the stories I've heard, how they end up there.
Yes.
And I don't want to make them feel bad. And of course, when I get an opportunity to get in their ear, I'm offering them other solutions and saying, hey, why don't you try this? Or why don't you take the job for the county? Or why don't you do this? And because that money starts getting good to them, that money is flowing like crazy, they get stuck. You get stuck to that lifestyle. It's just like a dope dealing dude.
Exactly.
They get used to that fast money.
Yep.
When it's time to work a 9 to 5 or dump some trash or whatever, they not trying to do that. They trying to get that big paper, that long paper, them deep pockets.
And quickly.
Exactly.
I mean, that's
and this is how it ends up. They end up in that place.
True. Because I mean, like I had a conversation with a certain gentleman who is pretty famous for selling drugs. and someone stole his name, but we won't even go there. And the conversation that he had when we were talking, he said, I went from making like $1 million a day selling drugs to the people in my community to now having to work a 9 to 5. He was like, do you know how humbling that is? That I go from making that amount of money a day to now I'm down here at the minimum wage mark. That's a hard pill. And to, if I'm going to compare that to somebody that's used to making now, in today's time, $150,000 a day, just for doing the bare minimum of cooking in a bathing suit, right? As opposed to someone that's working at your local grocery store, who's fighting for minimum wage right now during the pandemic, right? That's a tough choice to pick. It's tough. And sometimes we, is it right? No, but sometimes we do throw those morals out the window temporarily to be like, I got to provide for my kids. I got to provide for my family. And if this is an easier way for me to get the money versus working hard and only making the bare minimum over here at this grocery store, I may jump on that OnlyFans bandwagon and make that money and use it as a way, as a stepping stone to get to where I need to get to.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know what you're looking at me for.
Because I know where you're saying.
I don't give a damn. I can understand because I grew up in the drug era. I know about making hundreds of thousands of dollars a week. I know about bringing home $30,000 a month. I know about that. And then once you go from being up and getting down, it is a humbling experience. But at what cost?
Right.
I'm not looking behind my shoulder. I'm not hoping somebody doesn't jack me. I'm hoping I'm not ruining my community. And sometimes we have to do the hard things. Why do you want to? I want to sleep at night. I want to be peaceful. I want to have peace in my life. I want to be respected in the community. I want somebody to look up to me for doing something because I am the example of when you work hard, when you do things in a correct manner, this is your result. You sleep better at night. I want to be that person. So hell, if you only work in a bare minimum, get your skills together and you don't have to settle for one job. That's things that people don't understand. Because you work here, you don't have to stay there. Get your skills up. Get you a better job. You don't have to be loyal to these corporations. They don't give a damn about you.
True.
They will fire your ass tomorrow and get somebody else right behind you as you walking out the door.
True.
Get your skills up. Get you a career. Work 2 jobs. Do what you got to do. Don't degrade yourself. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
And I stick to that. That's my story. Hey, we all have done bad things, but you have to look at the end result, the final result. What's going to happen because you did this? You can't just say, oh, hell, I'm just going to go out here and bust a lady upside the head. You got to think about yourself. And see, as a woman, you want to do all these bad things. And then when something happens to you, the black woman is the most unprotected woman on the planet because you did some bullshit, excuse my language, and now you want somebody to help you with that. You can't have it both ways. You're going to have to pick a door. You want to be the damsel in distress, the feminine lady, the man that wants to take his resources and share with you and provide and protect you, or you want to be out on these streets on your own, getting towed up physically, your body, your womb, and psychologically your mind. Okay, so let me ask you a question right now, y'all. Your man throw some money at you right now. How you gonna feel?
Send some money. I was about to say something, but I'm gonna just scoop it on up.
You lied.
I'm not gonna like how he threw it at me. I'm not gonna like that. And it depends on what it is. Is it some singles?
Right.
Is it singles?
You said it's singles. It matters.
It depends on the situation.
It does. It really does.
Because you said that's my man. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it could be we can be having an inside joke. We could be having role play.
Role play.
Depends.
Don't add nothing to it. Don't take it away. I didn't say it was no inside joke.
Okay.
I said you
He
was
just
standing up
tossed
and
it.
he started throwing money at you. What you gonna do?
Are we at home?
I don't know where you are.
If I'm at home and he do that, I'm gonna be like, hey,
You know.
hey,
Yeah. I can see where it would feel a little degrading. But like again, like you said, that's your man. That's a little bit different.
If you have sex with me, hold on, because you deflected. Okay, you know you lying. If your dude have sex with you and put $40 on the nightstand, how you gonna feel?
Listen, that's my inside joke. So if anybody that follow me know, I go with that.
Well, we just ain't talking about you. We talking to an audience here.
If he throw $40 at me, I'ma laugh because again, it's a joke behind it. But I mean, if it was somebody I didn't know and they'd be like, "Excuse me, sister, excuse me. Here's $40 for you." I'll be like, if you don't get the bleep out my bleep face, what the bleep is wrong with you, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, if it's my man, that's different because again, we have that $40 joke conversation. But I mean, for somebody that I don't know, that is disrespectful. That's a level of disrespect, and I wouldn't approve of it, and I wouldn't want that to happen. But going back to, that original point, I wouldn't wish for, like, I'm going to put, like, my daughter in it since she's, that's the next generation coming up, right? I would never want to see her being a stripper. I would never want to see her being an OnlyFans representative unless she's cooking or doing makeup. She doing that, I'm not mad at her because there's profits to it, and I see a lot of makeup artists on there now. I see a lot of celebs because they hungry on there now. So if it's something like that, I'm not mad at. But if it's something sexual involved, then no, I'm not for it. I'm not for it at all. Like, I think that should be between you and that person, or for some people who's into poly relationships, between them, that group of people behind closed doors. Like, it doesn't need to be seen. So, yeah.
And here's the thing. The strippers who think that they are an upgrade, versus the hookers, because of the pandemic. And we live in LA. Hooker Street is Figueroa.
Right.
The strippers are now, if they're not in the open underground strip clubs, they're out there on Figueroa, 68th and Figueroa, 50th and Figueroa. And the reason why you can distinguish them from the other hookers, they're cleaner.
Yep.
Their outfits are newer. Their weaves are tighter. Yep. Their makeup is on point.
Yep.
And so there's so many things that we as women can do that we do not have to degrade ourselves.
I agree.
That's long-standing, unhealthy psychological damage.
And I think that's where that sisterhood comes in, where we need to encourage and inspire and motivate the next person, and let them know, hey, you tell them about some other things that they could possibly do.
Yes.
Because otherwise you get stuck. You get stuck and you feel like, this is all I got. And if you're one that have low self-esteem or, that type of thing, you do feel stuck. You like, this is all I got to offer. This is the only thing, especially if you're constantly told that, oh, that's that good, or you got this whoop whoop. And you know what I mean? And so you feel like you have nothing else to offer. So I think that's where, as sisters, we need to constantly motivate and inspire our fellow sisters, friends, whatever.
Definitely. I agree. We do need to inspire, and we need to be there for one another and provide avenues so that they don't have to feel like they're stuck with this being the only option.
Right.
Like Mona said, there's other options.
Definitely.
You don't have to just settle for that one. But I can understand how they can fall into that trap if they're not being guided properly by someone, right? I agree. I can agree with you on that.
There was a period after I got my first divorce that I had to work 3 jobs, and I was trying desperately not to do something crazy. So as long, because I had other people in my ear that kept me from doing anything outside of what's considered normal or regular. Appropriate. That's the word I was looking for. I just went on and worked those 3 jobs until I got in a better position. But everybody doesn't have that mindset, or somebody constantly in their ear to do the right thing, and they end up in that situation. So I get it. And I don't, like I said, I don't want to come off judgmental to other women that may have found themselves stuck in that way.
If you got that good, you'll have a husband. Because good don't get passed around all over town. I can understand it. I really can. I think that whenever there's somebody doing something negative that you have to be able to replace it. You just can't keep on saying, why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? You do have to kind of hold their hand and offer them some resources and some things that they can do. At the end of the day, we're going to have people that do bad things.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, I just would want more for my sisters. That's all I got to say.
I have gone as far as offering, job bulletins and even doing a mock interview with them to help them. Let's get your resume together. Let's do this, because I've worked with tons of women that have found themselves in those positions. And I think we just have to be there for them and be willing to go that little extra mile to help them out.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Like, I've mentored young ladies, and we've had discussions. And some of these women come from backgrounds where they were never taught properly how to, have that mindset to, like, stay on the right path. They were taught the other way. Some come from, environments where they were molested. Some come from environments where they were raped. Some come from environments where they were trafficked. So if that mindset is, messed up from the, it's kind of hard to be like, hey, over here, if you go down this path, it's hard for them to see it unless you show them and be that model for them so that they can say, all right, she's doing it, so I can do it. I can do it too. Yeah. But I won't judge them. I will try to help them and let them make that decision.
Mm-hmm. And I've seen those that even go to the other side and get on track and doing the so-called normal thing, getting a 9 to 5. Yeah. And then gradually they're back in it again.
Yeah.
Because that
mindset.
Yep. Yeah.
Well, just let me clear one thing up. Telling the truth is not being judgmental. Here's the thing. The stripper, the OnlyFans, the hooker, or what you would call the streetwalker, they have a psyche that they display to men. Mm-hmm. They are saying that they are drama queens and that they may not be able to sustain healthy relationships. They are promiscuous. So if you're looking for a husband, if you're looking for a protector and a provider, there's just certain things that you don't do. Point blank, period.
Right.
Do we have anything else that we would like to say about this topic?
I don't. I think we kind of covered it. I guess the solution, because some people are like, what's the solution? What's your solution?
So final thoughts?
My final thought, get healthy with your mind. If you have a healthy mindset from the beginning, you'll know what you should and shouldn't do. You'll know what's appropriate and what's not appropriate, especially if you're an adult. If you're over the age of 21 and you still behaving like you 13 or 12 or 10, clearly something's going on. If you're over the age of 30 and you still acting like, you're 15 or 10, something's wrong. So figure out where you are in life. Do better. You don't have to sell your body for profit. You don't have to sell your body for attention. You don't have to do that. Just get on the path of doing better for you, because like Miss Mona said, your future awaits you and you don't want it to be thrown back down your throat like 10 years from now when you have decided to go on that like 9 to 5 path and they're like, is this you over here shaking naked on this video? Is that you? We gonna have to let you go. I'm so sorry. So do better. That's my advice for you on this topic.
And in closing, I would like to say, I think it was Oprah Winfrey who had this saying, when you know better, you do better. And I think a lot of times, like you said, some women, they grow up and they don't know any other way but that fast life and that life. I think we as women, even if we've been through something, we have an obligation to reach back and help our sisters up that are struggling, and to be a good example and to let them know, look, hey, I went through some stuff. And you can get through this too, and just be there for them. I think the world would be a better place if we looked out for one another.
Absolutely. Anything that you have to do where drugs is involved, alcohol is involved, degrading yourself is involved, you should think twice about that. All money is not good money. Mm-hmm. And the things that you're doing today that you think is fun, and I get it. If somebody told you about me in my 20s, I could kind of beat Foxy Brown and Lil' Kim. So I get it. But when it gets to something that is going to follow you for the rest of your life. You won't have to think twice about that because, like I said, what you think is fun today is going to follow you into your future. And if it's something negative, it might stop you from actually being the person that you really wanted to be because you have these roadblocks and you have these detours. So think about what you want to do. Think about your future, not just be in the present. That's all we have to say, ladies.
All right,
That's
BGP.
it,
BGP, we out again.
Bye.
Bye.
Felicia. We're out.
Bye.
Thank you.
Like,